I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is like, it's like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
Yeah, I do know that. In the United States.
So the shoe is on the other foot. They hate you. They hate you far more than they hate me.
Elon Musk, a trillionaire, is despised.
I think there is certainly a loss of trust in journalism. I think in part there have been mistakes by journalists and journalism. I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind of polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this, makes it worse.
I don't think so. I think you're the problem, the media. And speaking of loathing, you're loathed far more than I am. And you don't seem to even realize that.
I think very few people know who I am relative to you, so I don't think I play in the same game.
The media collectively. So, I mean, you're hated.
And thus, he crashes out. And yet, right-wingers invoke his name in another area. Ella Langley, a Charlie Kirk supporting country singer, at least on TikTok, has made her mark in the industry with her song Choosin' Texas, which Rolling Stone did label the tune of the summer. And what is the MAGA base doing with this information? Well, remember this.
USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out.
Foreign aid is not charity. It is designed to further the national interest of the United States.
Cuts to USAID might cost millions of lives.
It's false.
The Trump administration say that USAID was wasteful, inefficient, and politically misaligned with American interests.
We canceled a bunch of contracts in USAID. Some were stupid and outrageous. Others didn't serve the national interest.
Marco Rubio and his team promised that they will review every single program that we're canceling.
Well, from our interviews with former staffers, there was no meaningful review process.
Amna, that report was done by the global HIV/AIDS nonprofit AMFAR. It surveyed more than 166 organizations in 46 different countries about the impact of PEPFAR cuts and the broader dismantling of USAID by the Trump administration. It found that more than 1,700 treatment sites globally had been closed. Over 1,700 sites have closed. That's places where people can get treatment, preventative medications, etc. 73% of groups that provide services to particularly vulnerable groups, sex workers, men who have sex with men, people who use injection drugs, those groups report that they have stopped providing at least one type of service. More than 63% of groups that provide medication to prevent mother-to-child HIV transmission, which we know is such a powerful intervention, have reported disruptions.
GRIP is a program that was 52% funded by USAID and the PEPFAR Fund for HIV and AIDS. The money was for the prevention of violence and HIV transmission and to support women like Bungie. And these are the faces, the real people, affected because of the worldwide overnight cut by the Trump administration of these funds. The day we got to GRIP outside Johannesburg, they'd been forced to lay off 21 staff.
The cuts that took place to USAID? Well, the right is making a link here between Langley and the cuts. From Rolling Stone, the conspiracy theorists are asserting with its roughly $40 billion annual pre-Elon Musk budget, USAID propped up rap music to the detriment of other quote-unquote American genres. They claim by eliminating it, the now defunct International Humanitarian Aid Agency, DOGE, opened the doors for country singers to top the charts, as if rap is not one of, if not the most popular genres in the nation's history. Furthermore, from the outlet, The evidence that they point to, the timing of the DOGE cuts coinciding with a resurgence in country music. And look, maybe you could make that argument, but it's very clear there is a blatant element of racism with this entire shindig going down. They would link to a post from a far-right user whose name is Steve Franzen with 2 S's. Rap isn't music, it's government piss, in all caps, that was funded by USAID to dumb down middle America. Why is the M capitalized, you whatever? Take a victory lap, proud whites who didn't fall for it. Here's how quickly it spread.
Like, this is crazy. But there's some people that believe that gangsta rap in particular, when it came about in the 1980s, was a part of the push to popularize it and produce it, was a part of the government, some faction of the government, some intelligence agencies wanting to create more crime, wanting to fill more private prisons, wanting to erode the fabric of society so they could push for more laws to keep you safer. This is like one of the most tinfoil-y of tinfoil hat conspiracies. But people are pointing out that right now is like one of the rare times where no rap music is on the charts.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, how does this coincide with USAID? Was USAID like actively promoting rap music? Was that one of the reasons why rap music was so popular? Mm-hmm. Is that real? That can't be real.
Maybe back in the day. It seems like that would be more manipulative.
People heard Nas and like, this guy's too smart. We got to dumb it down a little.
Right.
We got to promote some people that could barely talk.
Not only from Joe frickin' Rogan.
Well, with USAID, we had all this music. Rap music just vanished from the Billboard Top 40 for the first time in 35 years. Strange. A couple of months. So this would have been about 4 months after the shuttering of USAID. Rap disappears from the Billboard Hot 100. Interesting. Now, I want you to think about that Oprah performance. That Black Eyed Peas are there, and there's a big crowd. And on camera, it looks like everybody loves this band. And the song is played on the radio, and it's put in the playlists, and you will listen to what they tell you to listen to.
Not only from what appears to be a staunch Russian asset in Timothy Poole.
I do find it interesting that country music suddenly is topping all of the charts as soon as USAID is defunded, and we no longer have to listen to mumble rap or hedonistic garbage. You can see country music stars here, country music stars, country music. Interesting. Haven't seen a rap song at the top of the charts in a very long time. Ella Langley's choosing Texas. USAID gets defunded, and non-gay country music starts dominating the charts. It's just that we were suppressed and our culture was manipulated and psyoped by our own tax dollars and intel agencies, and Elon Musk shut it all down with USAID. Libtards are seething because a beautiful white woman who's singing a wholesome song about loving a guy from Texas, and there's country line dancing in the background. That's it. Libs have no answer to it. So produce another piece of mumble rap garbage. Please, CIA.
And fellow alleged staunch Russian asset, Benny Johnson, who, by the way...
What do you think of Benny Johnson?
Gay.
Say again?
Gay.
You think Benny Johnson is gay?
I think he has a lot of people who are really convinced they had gay experiences with him.
The people are convinced they had gay experiences with him?
Yeah, so unless they have a Benny doppelganger.
Poole would even tweet, rap music is dead. USAID collapsed and all of a sudden rap music disappeared from top charts. From Nora Moses, again, reiterating, the claim was pushed on social media by critics of rap music who claim the genre, which is rooted in Black American culture, degraded the broader American culture. Oh, come on. Now here's what Johnson and co. don't want to tell you. From Nikki McCann Ramirez, R&B and hip-hop still remain the most popular streaming force in the first half of 2026. And when taken as a whole, even as other genres may gain steam, they haven't seen the potential and exponential growth As a matter of fact, in my view, they can't compare. She continues, the decline in rap and hip-hop's presence can be traced back to a controversial rule change from Billboard last year. The outlet decided to weigh paid subscription streams more heavily than ad-supported ones, which set the stage for the Hot 100 singles chart to not feature a single rap or hip-hop artist in the top 40 for the first time since the 90s. In response, YouTube pulled out of its data sharing agreement with Billboard, writing the new policy doesn't reflect how fans engage with music today. And it's hard to disagree there. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.